You guys ready?
Yeah. Did you ever meet Kobe Bryant, or did he have any impact on your coaching career? Or?
He knows I've had a lot of contact in the NBA. I've never with Kobe, obviously. So I know him about as well as the average fan. But obviously, very sombering moment for everyone.
Obviously, a lot of the guys on your team kind of grew up more with LeBron and current players, but I believe Kobe still probably had an impact on this generation.
I think you know what he's actually. I mean, I'm getting old, but I think they caught him right in his prime, and actually, the prime without Shaq, when these guys are probably certainly inspired a lot of our guys to follow basketball, get into basketball, and I think what and coach has been complaining about this for the last 10 years, where these guys will get in the gym all the time with these private trainers. I think that's directly influenced by Kobe because his Mamba mentality, working out to black out, and like I have to have guys shoo him out of the gym a little bit. I think a lot of that's Kobe influence.
Did I see that you guys were on the plane back yesterday or Sunday when you heard about it?
Yeah.
What was kind of the reaction of the team?
You know, just everyone's saying the same, shock and disbelief, and saw it a little bit more in Duran's face. You know, like he's a little older. He's probably 21, 22, and I know growing up in L.A., it is different. It's I coached down in San Diego, but the Los Angeles is a little bubble community, and there are a lot of Laker fans, and I, like I said, I told Wood, I actually had something to draw on. Like when I was a senior in college, that's when Magic announced they had HIV, and back then that was. We just thought we were going to have to watch one of our idols die in front of us. You know, like just AIDS was such an epidemic. So, it's different, but some of the try to say, hey, and I know and even our guys are probably more connected to these guys via social media. They're so much more accessible. You got to watch it. I mean, I just think that it'll affect everyone.
Coach, obviously the injuries have been a major talking point lately. Is there an update kind of on Tony and Marvin?
I think Marvin might be available for Arizona. I'm thinking more we have that week between games. It'll probably be, if he's ready to go, that'd probably be the following week. But if he can get in there against Arizona and get his legs underneath him, good. And I think Tony's a little behind, but not much. Hopefully, we'll know more. He's still more in the Marvin's more closer to being ready.
Is the overarching hope to have him back, both by the Washington game?
That would be great. Sooner the better. But I think that having that week of really where you're not preparing for 2 games and you got some time to rehab and really get their legs underneath them and actually so we can scrimmage. We're really almost, it's crazy. We had a big roster and playing 5-on-5 full court we don't have much, just can't get much out of us or this time of the year where you're, and those guys need it too. They need to get reacclimated to transitioning and playing and get back in it.
With a shortened bench because of the injuries, has there been more of a conscious effort to kind of take some more outside shots to save stamina, or is it just kind of still play the same way?
I would say it's been hard, our stamina, as far as being able to, Colorado and Utah are both physical teams. And, and it's not like someone's rebound when Colorado hit us there, but it's just defending screens, and we got some young guys out there, and be able to sustain that over a long period of time. You got to have a strong body, good endurance, and not having really. And Marvin, Jalen, and Tony really are quickest guys. We're quick. We're just a different team, and just need to maybe an opportunity for some of our depth to develop and hopefully be a stronger team down the stretch.
And how much tougher does it get, too, when you have both CJ and Noah in foul trouble on Saturday?
That makes it tough, and that's something we got to work on. I mean, we can bellyache about bad whistles and that, and it's too consistent. I said not every official is they're not conspiring against us. We got to be more shrewd than that, and that was out of character. Noah's aggressive against foul trouble, but he just he's ready to play. He usually I don't know. We'll just say that was a freshman road learning lesson. Let's hope.
One of the positives, Javale played very well this past weekend. How have you seen his game kind of progress the last few weeks?
You know what? He's actually been better on the road than he is at home, which I haven't mentioned to him yet. But he's one of those guys I get a little misty talking about because he's the engine that could, man. He's been from day one really. He gets in the gym. He's our hardest worker, best conditioned guy. And he's just been a rock. And he hadn't been, obviously offensively, hadn't been playing the way we'd hope. But he's really picked it up and really been an anchor as far as a role player. Like just, and that's hard for some guys here. Like, hey, we need a guy that can defend, make open threes, and guard the hardest guard every night. And he's been doing that and doing a pretty good job. And that's where, not having Noah, I think, really fouling out. I think we have a much better chance against Utah because Gervais did a good job early in the game, and then just kind of worn down.
Obviously, early in the season, there was a lot of talk about Isaac's shooting struggles. Shots just weren't falling. Past few weeks, really since Pac-12 play started, and even beyond that, it seems he's kind of turned a corner. He's averaging, I think, 18 a game almost in Pac-12 play. Did he start doing something differently, or did the shots just start going in?
No, I really think it's more between the ears. As far as we're just getting a comfort level out there. I think he's, you wouldn't know it, but he's a pretty private, reserved guy, and I think he's a little anxious, wanting to play so well early, and there's a lot of stuff coming at him. I mean, like I said, we always worry about first-year guys, academically, socially. It's a big adjustment, just fitting in a new place. And then the basketball, this is totally new from what he was doing during college, what we're doing. We're pretty demanding on the accountability stuff. And I think he's settled in, growing in confidence, and he's trying to get better. And I think that it's starting to show up a little bit. And he's in practice, like I said, he's really – we've been working on watching film a lot, and he's a good student of the game, and he's really trying to get better. So it's good to see that he's been coming on.
I think the offensive rebounding has taken a dip the past few weeks. Can you kind of explain that? Or?
I would say some of that's game planning. Like we go on the road with being thin, and I think Utah and Colorado really get out and transition at home. So we peeled one extra one off the glass just to try to stop the transition. I just don't feel like we're having. We're playing 7.5. We're playing more guys than that, but really the guys that experience it, I think that gave our best chance. We might be folding on the offensive glass, but we got to make sure we're not getting a track meet with Colorado in their court.
Romy Martin leads the Pac-12 in points per game. He leads Pac-12 in points per game in conference play too. He's averaging almost 24. What do you do to try and limit him, seeing as he's kind of the big key to that offense?
You know what? You got to try to limit his catches. It was really tough because the other kid, Berg. Am I saying it right? Berg? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's quick too. I don't know which one's harder to keep in front of you, but he's just kind of got that moxie too that he's gonna take it upon himself, take big shots. I think you just got to make it. You put him in position where he's taking a lower percentage shot. I don't think you're going to stop him from getting 20. I mean, I think if we do, great. But if he gets his 20, it's got to be on more opportunities and not put him at the foul line, not letting him get out in transition because he's just quick. He finds little seams and pick and roll situations where you don't think there's anything there. Next thing you know, he's at the rim laying it in. So, and we didn't do a good job with Jones against Utah, so we'll be challenged, and we'll get 2 good point guards coming in this week.
You've talked about in the past, one of the things that always can worry you on a scout is a guy who draws a lot of fouls. Romello White's in the top, I forget how many fouls drawn for 40 minutes, but he's only a 62% shooter. Do you consider, saying, all right, if this is the guy you foul, let him get a couple free throws, or do you still just want to keep him away from the line?
It's catch-22. I think if we need to develop what we're playing behind Jeff. We can't have Jeff put him at the line, just on the sense that there's some other guys maybe that makes sense. And but I just think it's too efficient to score. It gets you in the bonus, like foul. Even though it says, hey, using a good foul on a guy that can't shoot. Well, we're one step closer to bonus, and then your defensive pressure goes away because you don't want guys to foul. So you got to be. There's a lot of unintended consequences of doing that stuff. So if you have depth, I think you can afford to. And that's physical, strong, older bodies. I think you can afford to just bang on guys. I don't think that's us yet.
Hey, Bruce, you got some questions?
Yeah. Hey, Coach. I was wondering, following up on Isaac, and I'm sure this is something you've addressed before with your guys there, but I was just curious to him as he's been, what kind of level, maybe if anything, has been a surprise to you, because I know sometimes junior college transfers, you're never quite sure how it's going to translate, and are you getting what you thought out of him, and in what ways maybe has that been maybe better than you expected?
You know what? I'd say he's right in Pac-12 play. I'm really excited at what he's done. I mean, that you didn't, he was struggling, I say, non-conference, and like I said, junior college guys, but the biggest surprise is that it's taken this long a little bit. I don't know, because he was really good in practice preseason, and there's always a lag time possibly, and it just took him a little while. But he, like I said, he worked so hard to put himself in position. He want to stay with those guys, and I'm glad it's paid off for us, and he's only going to get better, I think.
And I'm just curious again, big picture wise. It seemed like expectations are really low for you guys. On your first year, you've had kind of long-term rebuilding projects at Columbia and USF, and are things maybe a little ahead of schedule for what you expected yourself, or where how do you kind of characterize the way the transition's gone for you this season so far?
It's hard because I didn't know, because I'd say our expectations are exceeded when we had 3 guys in the program in May. It was exceeded that, but once we got to June 19th and we had a roster to work with and coach and develop, just my eyeball, I just felt like we were close to what we were at USF, but yet didn't have the experience. And I think we were 67 or something around there, top 70 team last year at USF. So I felt like with this group and everyone comes back, we could maybe make those moves. So, did we beat Oregon? That was definitely exceeded expectations in that sense, a top 10 team. I didn't necessarily see that, but like I said, we really try not to place too many hard goals. It's the day by day, and actually use a little Kobe Bryant. Like I said, what made that guy special is how he prepared and how he worked, and it's inch by inch. You read anything he says, how he worked. And I said, and really that's with our hustle stats and everything. I always say it's like basketball by numbers, and it's like if you can really dive into that, and it's hard to see the improvement every day, but over time you'll measure it. And kind of same idea.
Yeah. Did you get buy-in from that emphasis you're talking about with the stats and the accountability? Did that come in the off season, or was there a point early this season where you felt like your guys are maybe on the page you're hoping to see?
I always use the the frog in the water analogy, where you're kind of sitting in it. The frog. Anyone know this one? As I understand, like if you put a frog in water and you put them in and you raise it 1 degree until you reach the boiling point, that's kind of how it is. They don't really know they're immersed in it. They slowly, gradually. It's not necessarily buy-in. It's just like it's just the way we do things. And because I think, in anyone, I think and I've been fortunate enough to go through a few rebuilds. It's like it's not the cliche. You put your hammer my way or the highway. You have to have a lot of leverage and a lot of things to do that. You got to get people to slowly be empowered by what they're doing and see the results, gain confidence, know that's not going to happen overnight. So I really like this group. Their attitude's great. We had a great week at home, and then we did some good things on the road, but our end result we know wasn't close to good enough.
Yeah. Well, one other thing I was wondering, it just seemed like between that Oregon game and the clay ceremony and the way you played in that game, a lot of energy that was last week in your home, and is there a concern you can kind of recreate that now? We having to play this Wednesday night game, which isn't ideal maybe for that, and then Arizona on Saturday, or is that a concern? And what do you expect, I guess, energy-wise and atmosphere-wise?
I think our programs pretty much will be consistent on our effort and attitude. But I'll let you know Sunday. I'll let you know. I mean, if we're flat or whatever, I think our guys they'll do well as far as they're bringing a good effort. So we'll see.
Thanks a lot.
Coach, just kind of on a pass note for you, San Francisco beats BYU this weekend. I think Khalil Shabazz literally did not miss. I think I've asked you before. Is there still kind of a sense of like fatherly pride to see kind of what they're doing?
Absolutely. I've done the same thing when I left Columbia. I mean, they played every Friday, so I would 4:00 Fridays we'd have our staff, and then we'd watch Columbia play. Same thing, and we kind of play the same nights with San Francisco, so I don't get to see it. But I usually check in with Todd and Kevin and those guys, and I'm really happy for them. And really, like Khalil, he's a Division II transfer, and probably people question when we took him. And like I said, Bouye, the two starters, like Khalil's not starting, but those two guards, like they had no recruitment, and they're really good. So it's nice to see that those guys just our kind of guys are just hardworking and things paying off, and definitely proud of those guys.
Just do you have kind of like you have one scholarship available, I believe, for next season. Is there some kind of recruitment update you have, or not much right now?
I don't know what I'm allowed to comment on, but I mean, we're just, yeah, we're and it's the same thing. It's big picture, 2021 guys, just trying to make sure that we're getting. And I think you have to cast your nets far and wide here, and just keeping a good pulse. And I feel like obviously the good weekend against the Oregon teams like kind of elevated our profile a little bit. People like, whoa, got their attention, and obviously the Clay game was national. We got ESPN spinning around on that stuff. So I think it's all going the right direction, and we'll make sure we make some good decisions and get the right people here, and they'll work hard and hopefully have something going.
You have one guy signed for 2021, Nathan Rollins-Cabonja. Is that correct?
I can't comment on that.
Okay.
I can't.
We have a guy working on a story about positions in basketball and when kind of the traditional positions started to become maybe less important. Do you know when that really kind of started to happen, and what are your thoughts on
In the
guards,
college game?
forwards? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going to try to think kind of when I actually went to Air Force a long time ago. I thought they were way ahead of the curve in working with those guys. Joe Scott, who was a Princeton guy, and he is always – that's kind of where I learned a lot. I was only with him 11 months, but that was his kind of thing. We want guys that can do a little bit of everything, and I've kind of morphed it into what we say is a six-tool guy that can dribble, pass, drive, shoot, defend, rebound, regardless of their size, and you can play them different places all over the floor. Now you want some bigger ones for defensive, where you're going to match up defensively, but it'd be ideally to have 5 point guards out there in the sense they're different size guys. So that's kind of where I saw it, and then it did trickle down, like even the NBA going obviously the Warriors hit it in a big way there, and I think that everyone's kind of copycat, and I do think some of this analytics, understanding a three is worth so much. And it's not so much those interchangeable guys on the offensive end, is it that they can defend the three and keep people in front of them and switching, and it's hard to, when you got guys like that and they're switching, it makes it difficult. So the big five man has been phased out in a lot of ways, so it's been tricky figuring that out.
Anything else?
Who do you have in the Super Bowl?
Ooh, my wife will kill me if I don't say Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess our family's rooting for the Niners.
Still endear yourself to the San Francisco fans then, too.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm still, I told you, I'm a Houston Oilers fan. They don't exist anymore. I'm a man without a team.
Not to get too far ahead, but Arizona Saturday, and just a quick thing about them. They've obviously got the 3 freshmen. Do you even start looking at tape on them now, or do you wait till after ASU?
Luckily, they just played each other. So it was a nightmare both ways. I had to see them both. But and I think I've seen Arizona a few more times. And like I said, if you're a basketball fan, you're going to see a couple really good point guards coming in to Beasley this weekend. And that game went down to the wire. Really a rivalry game. And so and actually Stone Gettings, their starting 4-man, was a guy that we recruited at Columbia. He went to Cornell and transferred. And I'm like, this guy's going to – Arizona, like, oh, no, but they're going to think we're worried about the 3. I'm like, no, I'm worried about this senior that we recruited, and he'll be out for blood. So it could be a good way. The Arizona schools will be fun.